extensors of the wrist or the carpus, and they're all innervated by the radial nerve. So just to save a little bit of time in the video. So we're looking at the posterior aspect of the hand right now. So this is the medial epicondyle right here, and that is the origin for most of the flexors. And so now we're looking at the lateral epicondyle, which is the origin for most of the extensors. So we're going to start off with the extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis. The only difference between them two, between the two, is the insertion. So they both originate on the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and the extensor carpi radialis longus inserts on the base of the second metacarpal, and extensor carpi radialis brevis inserts on the base of the third metacarpal. And both their actions is to extend the wrist, and like I said, they're innervated by the radial nerve. The next muscle we're going to be talking about is the extensor carpi ulnaris. That is, the origin is also the lateral epicondyle, and the insertion of that is the lateral aspect of the fifth metacarpal. So that will help to extend the wrist as well as ulnar deviate or adduct the wrist. The next muscle we're talking about is the extensor digitorum. The origin is the lateral epicondyle as well, and that will insert at the base of the distal phalange for digits 2 through 5. So which is about right here for all those digits. So that helps to extend digits 2 through 5 and also extend the wrist. The next muscle is the extensor digiti minimi. That one also originates at the lateral epicondyle, and that one actually inserts at the distal phalange, and it travels with the tendon of the extensor digitorum. So it kind of piggybacks off of that tendon and inserts at the base of the fifth phalange. And the action is to extend the fifth digit and also extend the wrist. The next muscle is extensor indicis muscle, which indicis is also index, a way to remember that. And that actually originates on the ulna and also on the interosseous membrane, so about midway down, so about right here. And like I said, that interosseous membrane is just a cartilaginous joint that connects the radius to the ulna. And so that comes down and inserts at the base of the distal phalange in the second digit. And similar to the extensor indicis, it also piggybacks off the extensor digitorum tendon, where it finally inserts right there. And its action is to extend the index finger and also extend the wrist. The next muscle is the extensor pollicis longus, and that originates on the posterior aspect of the ulna and the interosseous membrane as well, just a little bit more distal than the previous muscle, the extensor indicis. So that originates right around here, and then it will insert at the base of the distal phalange in the thumb. And the goal of that is the action of that is to extend the thumb and also extend the wrist. The next muscle we're going to be talking about is the extensor pollicis brevis, and so that is actually at that originates on the posterior aspect of the radius and also that interosseous membrane, and so that will insert at the base of the proximal phalanx, because like I said, the thumb only has two phalanges, a distal and a proximal. So the extensor pollicis brevis will insert on the base of the proximal phalange of the first digit, and it will also help to extend the thumb and extend the wrist. And the last muscle is the abductor or abductor pollicis longus, and that will originate on the radius and the ulna, and also interosseous membrane, so it's kind of like right in this area. And that will insert at the base of the first metacarpal, and it will help to abduct or abduct the first digit and also extend the wrist. And so a good way to remember those three muscles on the thumb is longus, brevis, longus. And that stands for abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and extensor pollicis longus.